Welcome
Standard
to
open.
Jasmine's First Impression Sports Talk. Tonight we have a good show for you in store, and I have my guests Jeremiah and my dad. So let's get started.
Welcome to Jasmine Pollock's First Impression Sports Talk, the fastest growing sports talk show in the country. And now, here's your host, Jasmine Pollock.
The first topic of the night, I have my dad and Jeremiah. We're going to talk about our NFL team. Shock, but a crazy. On to another AFC team. Lamar Jackson is injured. The Packers play them. So, do you guys think this Ravens team, what's going to happen with this Ravens team right now?
Well, basically, my thing is because Lamar made when he got drafted, he made some big promises, and for the production he's put on the field, he's following through because he's still he's still learning, he's still training, he's still becoming a better quarterback, and he's still getting acclimated. But I think the team around him, for whatever reason, I don't know if they're evolving the same way because it seems like there's a steady decline right now with them, and I think it has a lot to do with if you got the type of team. Of course, they have some injuries at running back, which is a big deal. But when you have the type of team that they need to have one of the best defenses in the league. They're going to have to play defense because with the way they play, they rely on, and I think Lamar is having a really good year statistically passing the ball, but they rely heavily on his legs. Now, what happens is what just happened. He's been dinged up a few times this year, and that's not going to get any better because it's not going to get any easier for him. And I think that defensively, I don't know whether in the draft, whether they need to figure out defensively what their identity is because they're a defense away, and also they need another threat on offense. I mean, they lost a running back, but they need another threat. They need another couple threats. But if you add those pieces around him, I think they'll be a very tough team to deal with. But right now, it's like they're broken and it's getting worse. So I don't know how they're going to rectify that and get it corrected.
And for me, like when looking at the AFC right now, of course, I think the Patriots will be the number one seed. I do genuinely believe that.
Absolutely.
Most
But
definitely.
Lamar, I said this before, like Lamar is one of my favorite players in the league, and his talent is just out of this world. Like it's a God given talent that a lot of people don't have. And I feel like with him, like we talked about this before too, Dad. Like they have to have a number one defense or a top defense that can stop up the other team from scoring. When you
Yep.
look at the team, when you look at the Ravens, like they have Hollywood Brown, they have Mark Andrews, but um where's that other top receiver that I think he needs weapons around him? Of course, a stout running game where you can hand it off, and they rely heavily on Lamar Jackson too much, and I feel like right now that's what's causing them issues. Okay, Lamar, you just do it all, do it all, do it all, and it's like give the man some
Yeah.
help.
Thing with the Ravens is they keep on having to come back inside the games. In my opinion, I just want them to actually play a full game, just all the way through from start to finish without having to always come back and be the underdog each and every time. I want them to show their dominance. If you're up there actually in the AFC, you have to prove it.
Let me take over this since I'm a Packers fan. I do like the Ravens. I do like them, but I'm not gonna like them when we play them, obviously. But I don't think the team has a chance of beating the Packers without Lamar. I don't think that's happening. Lamar is he's a cheat code. He's literally a cheat code. Like this guy, he can make plays that are like, how did that happen? He's one of those dynamic players. But Brett Hundley, he's not bad. He's a good tenure player, but it's like, yeah, I don't think they're gonna beat the Packers without Lamar. Like, there's no chance of them beating the Packers without Lamar. No.
Well, one thing I'll say about that is what I always tell you any given Sunday. Don't ever say a team don't have a chance. That's number one. Now,
Without
is
Lamar,
is
so without Lamar, they
it's
have a chance
not
to
it's
beat the
not
Packers.
listen, it's possible. It's just not but it probably won't happen, but there's always a possibility.
That's true.
So you want to say that I
Anything
want to
can
say
happen
that
in play.
first. Secondly, with the Ravens, I think the Ravens are having a kind of an identity problem right now. I don't really think the Ravens, it seems like they don't know exactly what they want to do. And with Lamar getting in and out of the lineup, getting nicked up, I just feel that there's something missing from the team. And I would say defensively as well, to where, and of course, offensively, it has to be missing. Those running backs missing is a big deal. I don't know who's back yet, but I think you guys lost. I think they lost a couple people for the season. That's a big deal because that's a huge part. I mean, you got to think catching the ball out of the backfield. You got to think another person taking a pounding besides Lamar having to try to run and take the brunt of the snaps. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't believe in the league, even with athletic quarterbacks like Allen did last night. I don't think your quarterback should have the most rushing yards. To me, if your quarterback has the most rushing yards, I think that speaks to other deficiencies in your team or your offense, because you're putting the person who is the face of your franchise on the line every time he takes off running.
Totally agree.
I think they have to figure out what they're going to do defensively, because they need those extra possessions and they need that running game to slow down. That's another thing. If they're 3 and out and they're having these tough games, the defense is on the field a lot, which means that these guys are getting wore out. They got to figure out how can we start extending drives through the running game, through the short passing games, through screens, and see if we can get the ball out of those guys' hands quick. And I know they want Lamar to do all this electric stuff, but teams catch up to that. They always do. And it's like, when are we going to turn Lamar into that true dual threat to where it's like, hey, we got this covered, but he takes off and runs for that nagging first down. When it's 3rd and 12, he gets the first down. Or if you come up and you play the run, now because of his running ability, the threat is real. They bring those linebackers up and the safeties up. Now he's hitting it on the back end. But that has to be a true dual threat to really make this thing pop.
When it comes to the Ravens, this is actually showing right here. Who are you without Lamar being in the picture when he's not there? How are you as a team? How is your adversity going to be? And not just, always being underdogs, because you guys have a representation that you guys have to be a part of.
And that goes to show that they heavily depend on him. I feel like it's a team sport, even though your quarterback is the most important position. But you should be able to, I feel like if God forbid, if Brady gets an injury, knock on wood, if Brady gets sick or something, God forbid, they have people that can fill in. Like Trash can go out there and fill in for him. Or they still have a team that can still go out there and compete.
I don't believe that. So here's the thing. In the league, I hate to say it, but there's backups out there that are serviceable, that can come in and manage your team, but they're few and far between, in my opinion. Because when you drop a guy like Brady or Rodgers, you talking about not only them, it's not just about them knowing the offense, it's the timing. So these guys, when they're not taking all the snaps, they have to come in and get the timing down. And the
thing is,
the
they
coaches
can run the ball the whole time.
Yeah, but you can't run. I mean, you see what happens. You try to run the ball, they're going to stop the run.
The Patriots did that.
No, but you can't.
One pass.
They didn't tell the pass.
You can't. But listen, you can't compare the Patriots to the other team. Bill Belichick is a situational coach. He's probably the best strategist that we've ever seen at coach. So you can't compare what the Patriots do to other teams, because this man plays like he plays the percentages. He knows the right call, the right time. It's like he knows the freaking rules in the playbooks of other teams, which that could be another story. But when it comes to the Patriots, that's because they are efficient. Their scheme is very clear. They know what they're doing, and they focus on everybody doing their job. On the other side, other teams have not been able to match that kind of production as the Patriots. So I put the Patriots in a different category because of Belichick.
But we're going to go to a quick break. We're going to go to our sponsors, the Smoke Shack and Falling from the Sky. So we'll be right back.
Slow roasted over hickory fire and pulled by hand. This is the way pit pork has always been done. Pulled pork lovers, rejoice. The smoky old days are back at the Smoke Shack. From the creative team that brought you The Browning Project and Dead by Morning comes a new thriller that will change the way you look at white-collar crime forever. Falling from the Sky.